Hey yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Tylarius, aka Ty Killington. Yeah, man. All right, in this video, I'm gonna be reviewing the brand new Ubermacht Niobe. All right, there's a lot of talk about this car. I've been going over the customization and the performance, top speed, and average lap time around a track, and I'll be talking about my recommendations on whether or not you should make the purchase. Now, before we go any further, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel with notifications turned on. If you enjoy the video, drop a like, alright? Now, the Bottom Dollar Bounties DLC, the vehicles are pretty expensive, so let's talk about the price. Just to purchase the Niobe, it's $1,880,000. And as you see right here, the Niobe has HSW upgrades available, so not only will you get better performance, it's also going to cost a lot more to get the full potential from this vehicle. All right, now at first glance, it looks like it's a rear-wheel drive vehicle, but after you modify it, the all-wheel drive just gets a little bit of a boost, so you can definitely tell this is a all-wheel drive vehicle. Let's go ahead and take it over to the LS Car Meet, visit how, and let's go ahead and talk about the actual HSW upgrade. And yeah, it is expensive. $1,710,000 extra for the HSW performance upgrade, but this does not actually include the performance upgrade prices themselves. This is just to get you into the HSW category, right? We all know the story of that. We know how that works. So, to max out the full potential, this is at minimum a $3.5 million car. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look at the categories for the customization. First up, we got the arch covers. You got the street kit, looks pretty good. You got the bolt-on kit and then the race kit. I like the race kit. You get the bolt-on look and you get the actual fender flares up front. With the fender vents, excuse me, it looks really good. I like that a lot. Next, you got your standard armor upgrades. I always recommend putting armor on, so if you do crash the vehicle while you're racing it, it prevents the deformation of the vehicle from happening so quickly, and that definitely will influence the way your vehicle races. You got several different bumper options as well. They all look pretty good. You got several different rear bumper options. You got the primary, the carbon, the diffuser, secondary diffuser bridge, and the secondary diffuser bridge. They all look really good right there. Next up, we got the engine upgrades. As you see right here, you see the HSW engine tune, $57,000. Okay, but again, to max out and get the most out of this vehicle, that's what you have to do. For your exhaust, you have a number of different exhaust options: round bore, twin rounded bore, sharpened, twin sharpened bore, twin exit, twin titanium exit, triple exit, and then triple titanium exit. I love the titanium look. I like how it has that blue flame look to it. It's very good. Several different grill options as well: stock, primary, carbon, graded, horizontal, mesh, rigid, and the race grill. Again, any vehicle over $1 million, you guys know what I say. If it's $1 million or more, it's going to have a lot of customization. And honestly, I mean, what vehicles nowadays don't cost, at least almost $2 million now? So the customization needs to be robust so you can make the vehicle your own and there's not a whole bunch of clones driving around. As you see right here, we have plenty of different hood options. We'll take a look at the lights. Of course, you got your headlight. And when you're in the LS Car Meet, you also have access to the Arena War lights as well for your headlights. Then you have the liveries. It's got some decent liveries. You have the white arrow stripe, the black arrow stripe, the white contour, the black contour, the old school iconic looks very good. Love that. And the old school grayscale, love that. And the radiance looks very good. A Beast 76 looks amazing. Love that. The modular race, very clean. The dense electric, another really good one. I mean, these liveries are nice. Of course, you have the HSW and HSW Elite liveries also. Moving on, we got the mirror options. Quite a bit of different mirror options as well over here. Per usual, you'll have the primary, secondary, and carbon. Then you'll have custom. Then you have primary custom, secondary custom, carbon custom, and the race mirrors. And for your respray options, of course, you'll have the primary and secondary. And then, of course, the secondaries basically dictated by what type of secondary customization parts, secondary bumper or hood. You guys know the routine with this, obviously. And then, of course, you'll have your interior color for the trim. And the interior of the vehicle looks clean. It actually has a little bit of a modern look to it. you know, the interiors for GTA cars, for some reason, they all look like they're between like 1997 and like 2013. They still got CD players in there. They got the aux port, you know, all that good stuff. But there's a few vehicles that have a nice interior. This one, it's not bad. It's minimal, looks clean. Nothing wrong with that at all. For your roof options, you have 11 different roof options. Of course, 12 with stock. I'm usually partial to the options that have the scoop. It gives it that race look, a little bit of a rally look as well. I like that. 11 different skirt options. Of course, your primary, secondary, carb, and then you have a slipstream. You have street skirts, secondary street, carbon street, wing skirts, secondary wing skirts, carbon wing skirts as well. And then you also have canyards you can apply. Love that. For your spoilers, 10 different spoiler options, of course, 11 including having no spoiler. But as always, as you guys should know, the spoilers will add traction for your vehicle. So if you want the best out of the performance, especially around a track, got to have a spoiler on there. But sometimes the vehicles do look better without a spoiler, I will admit. All right, but plenty of options right there. Definitely check that out. Then you have your suspension upgrades. Looks good, looks clean. I would have liked to have a little bit more of a camber with the tires, but it's all right. It's flush. Tires fit nicely in the wheel well there, so it looks pretty good. Then you have your transmission upgrades. Of course, you have to go with the HSW if you want all that. Your turbos. HSW Stage 3 turbo will be the max, $95,000. So, you know, again, this vehicle, you know, 3.5 to get the vehicle and to have the HSW entry upgrade. And you know you're close to $4 million for this vehicle with full customization. You know, so you have to kind of keep that in mind. With some of these vehicles, it's a little tricky. Rockstar's clever. It's a little sneaky. Pull the car out there. It's a manageable 1.7, right? 1.8. Oh, but you want the best out of this vehicle? Yeah, let me get another $2 million out of you. You know, easy, light money, right? No, not really. But we'll have to see if it's actually worth it here in just a minute. All right, we'll talk about the customization. First, let's talk about. I want to show you what it looks like comparing the stock Niobe to the HSW upgraded Niobe. So, top speed straight line, stock Niobe goes 105.46 miles per hour. HSW Niobe, full upgrades, 143.58 miles per hour. So that's what the extra $2 million gets you right there. Roughly, 38 miles per hour more. Right now, to compare this to the leading top vehicle in the sports class, which is the La Carouse, it's 128.53 miles per hour top speed straight line. But as you know, that's not the whole story here, okay? Let's actually talk about around the track. So the Niobe, I'm not going to lie, this is a great car to drive. However, it is tricky. It is a vehicle that requires some patience. You need to have some skill to drive this vehicle because it does have the HSW upgrades, because it is all-wheel drive, because it is kind of like a hybrid type kind of vehicle. It is a little difficult to drive this vehicle. It really is. But if you can perfect the Niobe when driving it, it can be the top vehicle in the sports class category. However, the La Carouse is still not going to be far behind. And in my opinion, the La Carouse is a way easier vehicle to drive. It really is. It's much, much more consistent, much more stable. But because it does not have that same top speed, it can be overtaken by the Niobe. So if you're picking between the Niobe and the La Carouse, you really have to understand what type of track you're going to be racing on. If it is a track that is longer, more laps, more straightaways, you may want to get the Niobe, but you have to be careful because of all those different little quirks about the Niobe. It's all-wheel drive, it's got the HSW. The acceleration is pretty intense with that vehicle, and it can lead to a bunch of understeer, which can cause you to lose a lot of time around a track. The La Carouse, it's much easier to handle that, and they're not that far off from each other. They really aren't. So if you already had the La Carouse and you're comfortable with it, maybe just stick with that overall. Right? But if you do want the top overall, the best of the best, I would say on 55% of the tracks, the Niobe would be the one to go with. But the La Carouse is going to be very competitive. It's right there with it. It's a very easy car to drive. The Niobe is not difficult. You just got to, put about 10, 15, 20 laps and kind of just understand how the vehicle drives. And if you're on a racetrack that's brand new, you're going to have to be a little cautious until you understand all the turns, the curves, all that good stuff. And that's just the way it is. It's the way it is with most vehicles, but the Niobe is much less forgiving, especially compared to the La Carouse. So just keep that in mind. So for my recommendation on whether or not you should purchase an Niobe, I'm going to have to say yes, overall yes, just simply because on just slightly more percentage of the tracks, this will be the one to go with. It does have that overwhelming top-end speed, which is much better than the La Cruz. But the La Cruz is right there. But I just have to err on the side of, if you want the top and the best of the best, yes, it's going to be the Niobe, but you just have to work much harder to achieve those numbers. And you have to really get this car down. You have to practice with it to get those numbers on there. But if you already own the La Cruz and you want to spend money on something else, you should be fine just hanging on to the La Cruz for now. But if you come across a track in a race where it has longer straightaways, more laps, you'll understand why the Niobe be the one to go with if you can get it mastered and if you can kind of figure out, the handling with that vehicle. So there you guys have it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you all so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel for the Ills and Reels content in the game. Smash that like button. And we'll see you guys in the next video, all right? Peace out. Yeah.